We try to really kind of look at the impact on the land to determine when we move them, and usually it's in a 5 to 10 days they go to a new paddock.
We produced on farm for the first time every pig that we are putting out. So this is our first full year of having nothing but our own pigs and our own production. And what we found is that we have a lot. They're really good at making piglets and they're thriving. So we're having larger groups of pigs that are having to go through, and we can't join the smaller pigs with the larger pigs because then they get beat up or they get pushed out from feeding. So then their growth rate suffers.
And the weather has been kind of holding us back as well.
So and
Just
it's been a heavy year.
I'll find some of the more less desirable trees and we'll put some feed around that and let them just root it up.
Yeah. Or even cut them down and just leave and feed right at the roots.
Yeah, leave the stump, and they'll root up the stumps, do that thing. But yeah,
they'll find like even mineral deposits and dig like
it's crazy to
holes
see
to get to that mineral deposit.
Pigs that come into one of these paddocks and they've never been there before, but each group of pigs that have been in there, whether they were pigs that we had brought in from another farm or the ones that were born here, and they'll all gravitate to that same spot and they'll dig in that same spot to get whatever that mineral is that they need, which is really cool. And the thing about the pigs, I mean, we just had however much rain we did, right? So it's muddy and yucky, but they're very clean animals. They keep their bathroom area in one section, sleeping area in one section, their eating area in another.
I mean, even with as many pigs that are out here, it's not piggy.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
And then how long do you keep them before?
They're right at a year when we butcher, 9 months to a year.
We shoot for 250 to 300 pounds. That's what I'm taking to the butcher. And so we're getting them from farrow to finish in 9 to 10 months. These guys, I mean, that hog right there is probably pushing 300 pounds. And these are the last of the litter that came off of our old boar. So these guys are mostly Duroc and Hereford.
Yeah, you can tell the Hereford because it's like a white belly.
The coolest thing about it was we were taking these pigs that were coming from generation after generation after generation of growing up on concrete with fluorescent lighting, and the absolute first thing they did when they got on dirt was start digging it up. Like, it's so ingrained in their DNA to do that. And then even with one of the breeders we have came off of that farm as a piglet, and we decided to keep her to start some of the breeding.
Which, farrowing with a hog house pig that was born in a hog house, you have hog house breeding genetics, and you don't even realize how ingrained that is. Humans have that too. Like, I am a doula, so like I have seen that. Women that their mother didn't give birth, they have a hard time with the concept of giving birth. So when she wasn't in a crate, she was like a little bit more nervous and sketched out, rather than the other pig that had come out of a woodland environment to give birth and was born outside. Like, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
That's Tia. You can see that she's never been in a hog house. Her snout is extremely long. It's indicative of pigs that live outside their whole lives in multiple generations.
Compared to
so these are a little bit
Big
shorter
Mama
snout.
here. Yeah.
He's also from a hog house.
I was gonna say, whenever you mention that, as soon as the difference is pretty stark.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see more of that genetic the longer that we breed here outdoors. Her genetic will become will be more dominant. But she manages them very well.
Very well.
And she's not a crusher. She does not crush them. She is extremely aware of where her babies are.
That's one thing that consumers really have misconceptions on, are pigs. And so I'm curious, just the conversations you've had, especially at farmers markets, just on your pork and just pigs in general.
Teaching people that pigs have a place that they use the bathroom, a place that they eat, a place where they sleep, and that none of those places touch is mind-boggling to them. We just constantly, and I'm like, they're omnivores. They eat as much salad as they do protein-rich food. So if they can find a bug, they're eating the bug. If they find a snake, they'll eat a snake. Like, they don't care. Yeah. They root up everything and eat everything.
Yeah.
They turn everything into muscle.
I think the biggest thing is with our customers, people realizing that pork has a flavor, and it's not just
white,
just a bland whatever sauce you put on it. is the flavor you get out of it. Giving them a smaller paddock and kind of forcing them to eat what they don't necessarily want to, it's promoting good growth. And another benefit that I don't think Jessica and I haven't really touched a whole lot on is like parasite management. If they're leaving where they were 24 hours ago and they're doing that every day and they're not coming back onto the same ground that they were on, we're breaking that parasite cycle. And the good thing about like cows and sheep, they can share parasites, but there's certain parasites that will die out in a sheep that they can get from a cow and vice versa. And they'll eat different stuff. The sheep will eat a little bit more of the broadleaf stuff. The cows will eat more of the taller.
Josh, you mentioned previously too on the parasite load. Having both sheep and cows, what's that look like?
Yeah, so there's parasites that can live in a cow that cannot in a sheep, and parasites that can live in a sheep and cannot in a cow. So if for some reason they do have a parasite and then they share them, they'll die out in each other, and then
They obviously share some, but
right, like,
but there are some that they don't share.
and that's something that we have. I mean, ever since we've had the sheep and cows, we've always had them together. We've always moved them very regularly. So parasites have just not been an issue. We do a good Redmond salt mineral and then kelp as well for mineral. We do basic H in their water a couple times a year. Basic H is just a it's an all natural soap essentially, very concentrated soap. So we get it in.
Basically dissolves the outside of the parasite so it can't live.
Right. So we mix that in with their water. It's like 1 cup of this soap concentration to 100 gallons of water. So we'll mix it in, and then they'll drink all of that, and it handles all of those parasites. This year we've got far more grasses and less of like what we would call weeds and stuff in here. So,
but they're the native grasses and they're kind of picky about them.
Yeah. So we started out saying, okay, well, let's give them probably a little bit bigger paddock than what they're in right now, so that we could kind of not do too much damage, but just enough. And then we realized that
it was a little too big.
They just weren't eating it down or stomping it down enough for what I want to see. I want to see like 75%. When I'm walking through this paddock 24 hours from now, I want to see like 75% of these grasses either laid over or bitten off. And then I want to move them. So if I want to move them every day, then I'm going to have to keep adjusting those paddocks till I get to that point.
And this is a little bit bigger paddock. They'll probably be on this 2 whole days because we're moving them in the evening. And they tend to, when it's like warmer out, they graze the evening and night a lot more and rest during the day. So it's warming back up today. And
yeah, this week will be a little bit warmer than last.
So doing evening rotations is better on the animals.